Welcome to a nourishing midweek lunch hour conversation with Spokane's newsmakers, thought leaders, and popular entertainers. Spokane Talks Live is brought to you by our friends at Homes for You and Breakthrough Incorporated. Welcome to Spokane Talks Live.
Welcome to Spokane Talks Live. Kent Adams here. That's the 21st of March, right? Not February. I don't know where the year is going. We're almost finished with the first quarter here. It's a nice day. Some of the folks at KHQ and the weather department down there swear we're going to get some nice weather, although tomorrow I hear there might be rain. If you don't like it, I'll give you their direct line and you can call them. Okay, some great people coming in this morning. Meg Demand, who has Demand Results, a newer company. She's helping for-profits and nonprofits get together and do some good things in the community, and we're going to talk about all of that. Next is going to be Stephanie Regalado. She's our host of She Says. Actually, we launched this women's program, I want to say toward the middle of the end of January, and we launched it to the best numbers of any new program we've had. So it was obviously not a program I should host or any of the guys, and we've had some great guests, really. But she will be in here because she and I are doing a program, a live special program, Meeting of the Minds, tomorrow. She and I are of different political parties and persuasion and so forth, but somehow we found a way to get together and appreciate each other and become friends. And it's something that, as we started to talk about this, said maybe we can model this a little bit to the community so we can have a decent dialogue and not just take pot shots at everybody. And then we're gonna play a little bit from Miranda Reed, who is the top candy and the top cookie salesperson here in Spokane for Girl Scouts. A delight, a leader. She's involved in the Chase Youth Commission and a number of other things. And we're going to play that a little bit because she's doing some good things and I want you to see it again. Next on Spokane Talks Live.
For the Inland Northwest's most comprehensive sports report, think outside the porch with spokesman.com. For just 99 cents for the first month, you'll enjoy unlimited digital access to the news and sports news that affect you most. From EWU to WSU, from Northwest Preps all the way to the Seahawks, we're the local authority that makes sports in the Inland Northwest different than the rest, better than the rest. On your phone, on your desktop, and on your tablet. Subscribe to the digital experience with spokesman.com.
See you tomorrow night, and thanks again for taking care of the painting.
I got this.
Bye.
Weekends are made for painting. Let the experts at Rada Paint take care of you.
Hi. This looks amazing.
Rada Paint, over 80 years of quality, tradition, and trust. Find it in every can.
Welcome back. Kent Adams here. I don't even have the slightest idea what the temperature is outside. You have to understand our studios are in the middle of the building with no windows, which is good for good video and so forth, but not good when you want to quickly run out the back door to go get in the car to go to a meeting and you find out there's 3 inches of snow. Not suggesting there's snow out there today. Meg Demand Results. First of all, I love the look of the logo. You know, sometimes you get a logo and it looks like, you know, it's your nephew or somebody who did it, right? This is good looking. I love it. I love it. So, first of all, what is Demand Results?
So Demand Results is a company that I started years and years ago.
Okay.
And I've just done small projects here and there. And I've gone kind of back into industry. But then last year I decided it's time for me to work for myself again. And just find my niche.
Sometimes that's the only way you can get a good boss, right?
I know. She's kind of crabby sometimes.
Oh, well,
but
let's not go there.
Yeah. It just depends. But I just saw a need. I've been working with nonprofits for a long time, whether within nonprofits or for nonprofits. And I just saw a need to match up small businesses with nonprofits. So that's kind of where I decided to put my niche this year.
Good.
So.
Okay, so when you say you match up and you find benefits for both, I presume.
I do.
What does that mean? Give me an example. How do you do that?
So I would find a small business that doesn't really have time to figure out where they would like to put their money. Maybe they have a budget set aside. Maybe it's $5,000.
But they're busy doing
2,000.
day-to-day operation, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Doing
Yeah.
all that, they don't have time to figure out where they would like their money to go to, although they would like to put some money into a nonprofit or somewhere in the community that their money would go.
Be a good community citizen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So some of the small businesses that I work with, they either want some recognition for that or they don't really care either way. So I go in and interview them, figure out where they're at,
Okay.
and have a little discovery meeting, if you will.
Good.
And then figure out a custom annual plan for them, and then produce a report for them, and then I kind of manage that relationship for them.
Well, the fact is, we all know the larger companies in town and in our nation do that, okay?
Right,
and I'm not
absolutely.
saying that in a negative way.
Right.
They've got staff that does that. I don't care if you're STCU or one of the banks or a Vista or any of the big dogs in town, okay?
Right.
Because they know the value of number one, giving back to their community.
Mm-hmm.
It's good for them as a company, but good for their employees and all the other things that go with it. But the fact is, if you're a small mom and pop operation trying to figure out how you're going to get coverage tomorrow morning because your staff is sick or they're taking vacation and there's only one of you left, and that's their priority for that evening or that morning, and don't know how to leverage that, because the fact is nonprofits need help, and the partnership has become really, that cause-related marketing kind of thing has really become popular. I got to ask you a question. Do you know where the cause-related marketing really took off?
I don't.
It's just a
know.
trick question.
Yeah,
no.
With you, I never quite know.
Yeah, I know. Okay, fair enough. American Express, 25, 30 years ago, probably more than that, when if you signed up, they would give money to the restoration of Lady Liberty.
Oh,
And-
I do remember that.
Yeah, but most people don't really think about that as cause related.
Right.
They obviously found that to be successful financially, not to mention how can you not support and not be associated with the Statue of Liberty? I mean,
Right.
that's not a bad gig,
Yeah.
okay? And that's really how it started, and people started taking notice of that. And since then, and I'm going to say, because I think the restoration happened back in the late 70s or so, so since then, the big companies have staff who help work on that. The guy or gal who has 3 or 4 part-time employees doesn't have time and doesn't have probably the connections to really know what's out there. They probably get hit by many nonprofits. But then how do you manage that question of what's best for me, for my business, what fits the company image and where we're trying to go in terms of moving the needle down the street, if you will.
Right. And a lot of companies don't know that they can actually negotiate what
Yeah.
they get for their money
Right.
as well. So they can get kind of what they would like to see out of that marketing opportunity,
Right,
if you
right.
will, if they would like to treat it as a marketing opportunity.
Well, and I think they should, because their competition is,
For
or
sure.
is going to.
For
okay?
sure. And really the millennials are demanding that out of the businesses that they consume from. The millennials would like to see
Yeah.
a company that's involved in something, whether it's in the community.
That's true. I had forgotten about that. We older folks do too, but I think those who live off of the iPhones and the tablets can quickly check about your corporate responsibility. Are you
Absolutely.
involved in the community? Do you stand up for diversity? Do you stand up for things like Leadership Spokane that develop leaders in the community? Do you help with the centennial? I mean, there are a number of things. We're very fortunate in Spokane that I think we really do have a community that steps up and wants to support things.
We do, and there's research behind it
Yeah.
as well. So I do have, in fact, when I was discussing this business model with Kevin Parker,
Okay.
he and I sat down and I'm like, what do you think about this? And he said, he gave me some great advice on how to give reasons why companies should think about corporate responsibility.
Yeah.
Behind whether you're a small company or whether you're a corporation, social responsibility needs to be a part of your business.
And he does that with Dutch Brothers.
Absolutely.
Okay, I mean, you find something that happens in the community, and within 3 days, it's the money goes to help fund this project or that project or $1 off or whatever it is. And the cost to him and Dutch Brothers is very minor, but it's all basically goodwill in the community.
It's a marketing cost. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, can you give me, without breaching confidence and so forth, an example of a company that you've helped in the last year?
There is a small, a few of them, an insurance broker that I work with. I've got a couple other that we're just starting these conversations. The other part, too, that I wanted to point out, too, is that it helps the nonprofit as well.
Oh, well, of course.
Because on the nonprofit side, a lot of the nonprofits, they're not as organized either. So if I can help say this is what my clients would like to see out of this money, then it's kind of a win-win for a small business and a nonprofit.
Well, and you and I both know that nonprofits are always seeking a way to get out there and be seen and heard. Mm-hmm. And I call it the funding marketplace out there for nonprofits. It is what it is. It's very competitive. You look at organizations back 30 years ago to today, and so many of those that didn't have a development director or somebody doing it now have a full-time person doing it. Absolutely. Because it's called survival. They've got to be out there, and because it's not just going after grants and things like that. It's getting the community involved, and I'm sure you know, if you get people involved, the dollars follow.
They do, and they stay. So that's the other thing, too, is if you maintain those relationships, you keep that money coming in year after year, and you just basically increase that revenue stream.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
How do you get your word out?
Well, I'm just starting to get my word out. A lot of the projects that I've been doing mainly right now are event planning. Okay. I did start off planning an event, and that was one of the revenue streams I had for a nonprofit. And then we've just noticed that corporate partners are part of that, grants are part of that. You'll see nonprofits that are very organized, they'll have multiple revenue streams. Right. And so I basically sat down with Jen Evans from Encore Events.
Yes.
She's fantastic. And Kari Anderson, who does a lot of consulting for nonprofits as well. And we talked about this, and I said, do you feel like there's anybody in this space? And Kari was great with talking to me about it, and she's like, I don't see anybody in this space, so this would be a great place. So haven't started to market it a lot yet, because I've been pretty busy with some of the other projects.
After today, your business is just going to...
I'm hoping we bring on... and so these are year-long relationships I'd like to have with small businesses where I can provide them a plan, and then we can measure it as well.
So I think you called it a discovery meeting, that you go in and sit down. So I call you... I've got a small business, and I say, okay, I need to get the word out there. I'm not a great marketer, blah, blah, blah. How long from that point to the discovery to you're able to come back and say, hey, Kent, I think these are a couple of options that you can choose from, and here's the cost involved, because there's always going to be a cost.
So usually the discovery meeting is about an hour. I have a full questionnaire.
Okay.
Sometimes I follow it down there. Sometimes it just kind of flows along. Basically, I really want to meet the mission of the company usually, along with what the company wants to be involved with. Sometimes that matches. Sometimes it doesn't. And so... so basically from that point on, that's about an hour long. It usually takes me about a week to figure out what we would like to, and then I'll come back with a proposal and say, what about these? Okay. And talk about the mission of the nonprofit as well.
I was going to say, do you talk to the nonprofits in there, or do you just do the research and come back first?
I'll do the research and come back. And right
so that you're not chasing a bunch of crazy animals out there to,
exactly.
and raising hopes, because it's really the decision of the business.
Right.
When it comes down to it.
Exactly. And right now I am getting together basically a database of nonprofits as well. So I'm trying to meet with the executive directors so I know exactly what they do, and I can convey that to my client as well. Right. So.
Well, it sounds like you're working with some of the right people when it comes to Kevin Parker and others, and I think that's great. How do people find you?
So I have a website. It's called Demand Results, but it's not. It's DEMANDRES, just demandres.com.
Okay.
And so they can find me there. I don't know if you're going to post my information on the
No, but
live.
we're showing your website right
great.
now so
Yeah.
as we speak. So
There you go.
Yeah.
So you can reach me there. There's a contact form there.
Okay.
If anybody, I get those. They come right through to my email, and I can respond. So I've
Great.
actually gotten a few nonprofits that have reached me through there and have had some great conversations.
I'll
with
bet,
some
because they're
executive
always
directors.
looking for help.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, when I call it the funding marketplace, that's really what it is out there. It's challenging, and it's a lot of work.
Right.
And I think this is great. It's good for our community. Again, as I said before, we have a number of nonprofits here, and a lot of small businesses. We thrive on small businesses in Spokane,
Absolutely.
Washington. And the fact that you can bring them together and have it be good for both organizations and ultimately for our community.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
It really is trying to get
Yeah.
a small business, myself, and the community involved,
Yeah.
and a nonprofit. So
And as
I
you
think
said,
it's a win-win.
There are numbers and there are studies out there that show businesses really benefit from being involved in cause-related marketing. And,
For sure.
And so this is a great way to go. Well, thank you.
Yeah,
Best of luck.
absolutely.
Okay,
Thank
now you're going to
you.
come back in a couple months and
Yeah.
tell us how you're doing, right?
I'd love to,
Okay.
and if I can bring some clients and maybe highlight some
Absolutely.
nonprofits as well.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that would be fun.
That'd be great.
Meg, thank you.
Thank
I,
you, Ken.
I saw the other day on something your full name, and I'm going, but I know her as Meg.
Megan.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
For some reason,
Somehow I saw Megan, and I'm going, who's Megan? Oh, Meg.
I shortened it to Meg a long time ago because you can
Isn't that
spell
funny
it
how
all
we
weird ways.
we
Yeah.
end up labeling people by the shortcut sometimes? Yeah.
Who's Megan?
Yeah, I
Versus
know.
Meg. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Thanks for the opportunity, Ken. I appreciate
All right,
it.
good to have you. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back right after this.
Welcome to Tom Sawyer Country Coffee.
Tom Sawyer Country Coffee only roasts the finest organic coffee for our signature blends. Enjoy a cup at our coffee shop and local businesses and organizations across the region.
I'm Tom Sawyer, and we choose the Pacific Northwest.
Last year alone, Avista customers saved over 53 million kilowatt hours of energy. Enough to power more than 4,000 homes for an entire year. Way to save, everyone. Way to save. Find your way to save at avistautilities.com.
What? You haven't been to the library lately? Stop in today and see that the library is more than books. Spokane County Library District facilities feature on-site technology, including Wi-Fi, computers, and printers, as well as free use of meeting rooms. The Library District offers events and programs for all ages, from story times to career development and employer classes to Social Security workshops. Our staff is well trained and happy to help. Find out more about your library at scld.org.
Hey, there've been times. Welcome back, Ken Adams. I'm joined today by my friend Stephanie Regalado. Did you just get hair?
I did. Yes.
Okay. See, I'm not too
It's
old
different.
to not catch that. When you've been married for 51 years, it's like you didn't notice I got my hair cut today. Oh my gosh, you don't want to live through that. But Stephanie, you and I have not agreed in the past about a lot of political stuffs.
Correct.
I'm a little on the right,
Yes.
which is like, little, and you're a little on the, a little on the left.
A little. Yes.
And but you launched a program about 6-7 weeks ago now, to the best numbers we've had on any launch here, called She Says, and it's about and for women, right? That's not something I could do, or even many of my friends, the guy hosts here. I
Right.
mean, it's just, who would believe it, right?
Exactly.
And one of the things that you and I talked about was, I'm a little bit known for being conservative.
Yes.
Is that like
just
being
a little bit.
Just being a little pregnant, I guess, right? But my comment to you was, I'm not going to control who your guests are. I'm probably not going to like all of them and or their topics, okay? But like all of our programs here except mine, I don't control who the guests are, okay?
Right.
And so that conversation, and I think we hit a strong note there that it made sense. And I was having lunch a couple weeks ago with Rob Harris from CREM, the morning news guy, and he said, and he gave me permission to say this, he said, I told him that story, and he said, Kent, you and Steph ought to talk about that. The fact that you come from different sides, but somehow you've gotten along.
Right.
Okay? And from that, the next day, I think I was here when you were doing your program, and I said, hey, Rob's got this crazy idea. What do you think? And your response was?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
totally.
tomorrow at 1 o'clock,
Yes.
I will sit on the right side of the screen at home, and you on the left, and I think we'll agree about more things than we disagree. Okay? I have liked Facebook a bit just because you can needle people, and I think that's often what it's for today. Unfortunately, you know, it's not a place to have a really decent conversation.
Correct.
Okay, we know that. Tomorrow, I hope what we do tomorrow, and it literally is unscripted. We will have no
I
notes.
have no idea.
No notes. I'll
Yeah.
do a little of this kind of intro to set the stage, and then we just talk.
Excellent.
But it's the first of our Getting Back to the Meeting of the Minds series, and Sulani Madsen will then take it because she's had in the past Stephanie Cates and Andrew Biviano on, and things like and other people who've been talking about different community issues that are on opposite sides.
Right.
And so she's going to follow up by bringing more people in the community over the next couple months. So,
excellent.
But I didn't feel, and I'm sure you too, didn't feel like she's the one to host it, since it's you and I that kind of started the conversation.
Right.
So your thoughts? I've talked too much.
Is that new?
No, it's not.
And that's one good point. Listening is very good.
Oh, now I gotta listen.
That's maybe my strong suit.
Yeah.
No, I'm really excited about it. And actually, I'd like to reverse to the point where you said I could have any guest I wanted on it, and that's the only way I do it.
Yeah.
And that didn't even need to be spoken.
Right.
I think because this relationship launched back at the radio show.
Yeah.
And I had She Says Radio.
Right.
And I felt then we butted heads a little bit more, and I felt as though my show was shelved because of that.
No, it wasn't because of that. No, a lot of other financial reasons.
Well, I know there were other things too.
And other things, no.
Yeah, but I just know I wasn't, I'm not a yes.
I hadn't noticed
I'm
that.
not a yes girl, so I contemplated and I like to do my own thing. And I allow you, I would never step into your space.
Yeah.
Aside to say, beware of the impression you're creating when you use certain terms that are divisive. Hashtags or whatever. It all connects it.
Yeah.
And I really do believe, like, if you want to have what is your goal? And then you do what you need to do to get to your goal. And just like, boom, fighting one another and going at each other. Everybody loses as soon as, if one person's going to win, everyone's going to lose. You have to find a way for all parties to win to a degree. And I have zero problem whatsoever listening to someone else's thoughts and beliefs and desires, no matter how they align with mine.
Right.
Truly, because I'm not walking in those shoes, and I know I have my own power to make my own decisions, and I trust those, and I'm respectful and courteous to everyone I come in contact with. Otherwise, you just want to
you want to
run
strangle
away.
somebody.
Well, I always joke about the little woman up in my head tearing the paint off the walls with her teeth. And I'm just sitting there smiling and listening.
Excuse the pun, but you just painted quite a different picture here. But in my mind, I'm going to have to somehow get that out between now and tomorrow. But
no need.
Yeah.
As long as the outside is maintaining itself, we're okay. We'll let
I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
I am too.
1 o'clock, Thursday the 22nd, because some people will see this after it's live today, between today and tomorrow. But I'm looking forward to it, and we'll probably even turn on the system that people can, on Facebook, send in questions and things like that.
That'd be so cool.
And let's have some fun.
Yeah.
And let's start a community dialogue.
I like it.
Isn't that where we want to go?
That's what we do. We talk.
All right.
Communicate.
All right, Fred.
Mister. I look forward to it.
All right. Thank you for coming in today.
My
I know you've
pleasure.
got a really crazy busy schedule,
Oh,
don't you?
no. I'm just eating bonbons.
Oh, right. Okay.
I'm going to go take a nap.
This is going to be interesting tomorrow. Okay. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back right after this.
Last year alone, Avista customers saved over 53 million kilowatt hours of energy. Enough to power more than 4,000 homes for an entire year. Way to save, everyone. Way to save. Find your way to save at avistautilities.com.
See you tomorrow night, and thanks again for taking care of the painting.
I got this.
Bye.
Weekends are made for painting. Let the experts at Rada Paint take care of you.
Hi. This looks amazing.
Rada Paint, over 80 years of quality, tradition, and trust. Find it in every can.
To find the right home for you, you'll work with your realtor to compare the properties you're interested in, analyze the market, and figure out a reasonable offer price. And now, here you are, ready to make an offer. Yay, you! Here's how it works. First, you'll complete an offer sheet which your realtor will then present to the owner. Sometimes, a nice note to the owner can help your offer stand out. Butter them up. Tell them how much you love their garden, that it reminds you of gardening with your grandmother as a child. Do not mention you're gonna bulldoze it and put in a pool. The owner may accept the offer, reject it, or counter. It's important to be in close contact with your realtor during the negotiation process so any changes can be reviewed. Your realtor is like your consigliere, and that makes you the Don. Once your offer is finally accepted, there are usually some contingencies that must be met in order to keep the contract alive. Inspections are totally common in real estate transactions. They include termite checks, surveys to determine boundaries, appraisals to determine value for lenders, title reviews, and structural inspections. This stuff is mind-numbingly fascinating. But you know what's even more fascinating? Actually getting your new house.
Welcome back to Spokane Talks Live, and I have one of my favorite guests here, Miranda Reed. How are you?
Pretty good today. Yeah.
You know, I feel very humble being here with you because you keep winning awards, okay? First of all, you were our January Youth Spotlight person, weren't you? And you got in the paper and a video and all of that. And congratulations, because your resume says all about you in terms of who you are as a person and what you do for the school and for Girl Scouts and everything else. You're quite a young lady, so congratulations on that. But the last few years, you've been involved with Girl Scouts, and again, you keep winning awards. Let's see. Last year, you were the top cookie salesperson, right?
Yes,
okay.
And broke the record.
And broke the record.
Yes.
Oh, of course. Why not? And then this fall, they do a candy sales to help with some of the funds and so forth. How did you do with that?
I was top seller for that as well.
Okay, this is a broken record. You realize that, right? Okay. Now you're coming on, and now is cookie time, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and by the way, audience, she happens to have order forms. So Steve, you and I are stuck today. I think we're gonna, not a bad thing. Okay. You have diet cookies?
They
just
thin
eat
mints,
fewer.
Thin mints.
Thin mints.
Yes.
They make me thinner.
Yes.
Okay. Hey, let me ask you about Girl Scouts. Why Girl Scouts, and what have you learned from being in Girl Scouts?
Definitely, yeah. So Girl Scouts, I've been in Girl Scouts for 9 years now.
Okay.
And I said on one of my previous interviews, I just kind of joined it because my mom was like, here's Girl Scouts. And ever since then, I've really grown to like it.
Yeah.
I've got many lifelong friends that I'm still friends with today.
Yes.
And I just really like how they're building me and all the other members to be leaders in our community and to really take initiative in everything that we put in front of us.
Now tell me, how do you keep winning? What is your secret? I mean, you don't have to tell it all, okay, because your competition is out there. But something must motivate you to do this. What is it?
Well, I think for me, I'm really all about like putting in all of your effort.
Okay.
So whenever I do anything and I set my mind to it, I go all in.
Okay.
So a lot of
Watch
people...
out, gentlemen, when you come a courting later on, right?
So whenever I like set a goal,
yeah.
Let's say it's 2,000 boxes. I get that goal and then I continue past that. So I think that that's definitely one of my biggest like skills when it comes to...
Right. So do you knock on doors? Do you go to places out in the community? What do you do to do that?
So I do some door-to-door. I do a lot of family members. And then...
they all see you coming,
yes.
Don't they? Yes, they do.
School is a huge one because those
really?
Kids just eat up cookies.
Okay.
So
instead of lunch? Sometimes.
Probably, yes.
Yeah, okay.
And so I put them in my debate teacher's room, and he literally has kids coming in there asking for the cookie girl. They don't even know my name, but they know that I'm the cookie girl.
Yeah, the money's still good though, right?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah.
And I go to college campuses over spring break,
Do you
so
really?
I work from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day of spring break. Usually.
Really? Well, now which college campuses?
Gonzaga, the community colleges.
Eastern? Do you go to Eastern? You haven't yet. Okay,
right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Where do you get all of this enthusiasm and this can-do attitude? Because it's got to come from somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Well, my parents are definitely a huge influence on a lot of that. Because if they weren't behind me, I wouldn't be able to do anything.
Really good people, too. Yeah, I love both of them. They're great.
And
your brother's a little,
yeah,
okay, no. Brothers are that way.
Yes, but he definitely, because he's really successful in his jobs and career right now, that he is also a really big motivation for a lot of the stuff I do. So I think just kind of overall, just my family is really
It's
the
kind of in the DNA.
Yes.
Now, wasn't he on the Chase Youth Commission?
He was a part of it, but he wasn't on it.
On it, okay.
Right.
Okay, now you're on the Chase Youth Commission.
Yes.
Another thing that you tick off on your list of activities.
Mm-hmm.
Why the Chase Youth Commission?
Well, since he was involved in it, I kind of got started that way. And the Chase Youth Commission really advocates for youth involvement and recognizing youth. So I think that that's definitely a big thing with that, especially since when I was younger, I would do a lot of great things, but I never really got like recognized. Yeah. So I always felt bad about that. So now I want to make sure that other kids get
and honestly, the folks in sports get recognized all the time. We know that. Sometimes debate, yes. Sometimes the theater arts, yes. But just plain good initiative and studying and getting out there is going to get you in a long way in life. It really will. There are several things going on, and one of them is that businesses and others can sponsor you.
Yes.
How does that work?
So if a business was to want to either buy cookies for their employees or customers, they can do that. And so, or they can put cookies in their products. For instance, Brain Freeze buys some of our Girl Scout cookies to put in their ice cream.
Okay.
And then another one of the bigger ones is through Troop to Troop, which is where we donate cookies to the military.
Okay, how does that work? Because I really like that.
So someone would buy cookies, so they'd give me $5 for a box.
Okay.
And then we tell our council that we had 200 boxes that we want to donate to the military.
Okay.
So then they take their cookies that they have, and then they ship them off to wherever.
Wow, what a nice thing. Do they send along a note, or probably just knowing it is coming from Girl Scouts is,
definitely,
kind of bringing home to wherever they are around the world.
And I know a lot of troops also write notes and draw pictures to send with them as well.
Now, I've got to ask the $1 million question. So you're going to win again this year, right?
Well,
that's the intention, right?
Yes.
Okay. And will you let anyone get even close to your number two? To be number two? I mean, how close was number two last time?
I think 4,200 was about, and I was at 5,020.
Oh, okay.
So.
Okay, so they got a little more work to do, don't they? Well, are they in this year?
Yes.
Okay.
She's a year younger than me.
Oh, okay. Well, she's raring to go, isn't she? She's probably watching now for all the writing down all the tips. How can people get in touch with you?
So they can go on my email,
Okay.
mimi.reed@hotmail.com.
Okay.
And they can email me if they want cookies or
Okay.
want to sponsor.
Okay. Okay. So what are you going to sell me today?
Well, I got my order form here.
Oh, look at this.
So,
Never go anywhere without the order form, right?
Right.
Okay. Well, we're going to talk about that. But in the meantime, one more time, your email address is?
mimi.reed@hotmail.com.
Okay. Thank you very much. Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
And thanks. You know, we see so much negative out there with kids these days, and kids, you're a young adult, but young people these days. And it's so nice to see good kids, young adults, get recognized and do great things. So thank you. And thanks for the troop thing, too. I think that's absolutely terrific. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week on Spokane Talks Live.
Spokane Talks Live is produced in Spokane, Washington by Spokane Talks Online, LLC, which is solely responsible for its content. To recommend a guest or topic, or to see this program again, please visit our website, SpokaneTalksOnline.com. Spokane Talks Live is brought to you by our friends at Homes for You and Breakthrough Incorporated. Join us next Wednesday, noon, for another nourishing conversation on Spokane Talks Live.